All right, we can call it at 1 a.m. today. Andy, David Wells, John, Brad. Everybody. First item, approval of the minutes for March 6, 2023, regular minutes.
And then we'll make a motion to approve as written.
I'll second.
All in. Project updates. Okay, bike racks have been installed. Our last memorial table has been installed. Lift station is complete. And we ever got it dressed?
Oh, yeah, it's on that.
Okay, so we got the pipe, it's been dressed, so that's been taken care of. The public Wi-Fi is operational. The bike trail rack has not been installed yet, but it is here. What else we got? Mowing, we got,
We had to replace our lift station down
down here,
there in the park, so that was another unexpected expense we had to take care of.
so, yeah, if you take a look in our, I've got a page here that shows the part. This is our budget tracking. Right now, I mean, we expect to finish the year somewhere around total expenditures of $513,208. That's total, yeah. Out of 556,000. We have several line items that are going over. Our professional, technical, and other fees is over. Equipment parts is over. Motor fuel and lubricants is over. Construction and maintenance equipment, that was our old park lift station, which we did not have budgeted. That was a shocker. Okay?
Yeah.
But also we had to touch our technical equipment, so that was 15,000. So, you know, while one item might look out of sync, the bottom line is what we're actually trying to get to. And other equipment, that was our table and chairs. That came in a little bit over, about $1,050. Yes. The other thing we ran into is we also ordered chair racks, and they didn't fit the chairs. So we'll be looking at new chair racks in this coming year. So, but overall, I mean, the parks budget is looking good. Now, the bathroom, we did get our design and everything, and we got that taken care of. We spent about 12,000, I think is what we've got on that at this point in time. But they estimated the building itself without the groundwork, water lines, sewer lines, electrical lines, all that at 200,000. So we didn't have a budget. So we just put that on hold for the time being, and they're putting it back in this year. I've got it marked up 250,000 for the bathroom.
Really? Is it the one that?
No, this is the new one, the one that's going up here at the pickleball. Now we can go back in with something less, but I don't know if they'll want us to do that. I'm not doing anything fancy. It's cinder block walls. The one thing I am doing is you've got the vestibule in the front, and then the pitch roof has got like a false front that matches the memorial part. But yeah, yeah, there's nothing fancy about it. There's no brass, no sauna, no showers. It's three. I've got one urinal. It's actually three. Is it 3 or 4 in each one? Remember?
I think there's just three.
3 in each one, so it's 6. It would be a 6-person bathroom, and that's handicapped. But, yeah,
But this is not the prefab thing. This is building on site now.
but this also gives us the ability, and we are also putting a heating system in it. So it's not, this is not gonna be just one of these open air jobs. It'll be a heating system. And then a fan for the summertime. We haven't decided yet, you know, if we can work in, you know, we ain't got the bids back. These are estimates, but you know, you're talking about expensive stuff. Look, the lumber's coming down, that's helpful. Metal is not, it's going up. Now, I'm not showing any metal other than on the front where we're looking at something for design. It doesn't have to happen. But we've got on there, you know, we got block, but at the front, we kind of overlaid it with panels to give it a, you know, more of some kind of a nicer look. And then we were gonna try to landscape it around that as well to make it look nicer. But we've got it back in the budget, put 250 in there for that. Are there any projects that you guys that I may not have touched on that you were thinking about? We got the pickleball courts are up and running.
Well, you mentioned the fence. Mentioned the black fence.
Yeah, that's going to be in the net for the budget. This is not any projects we got right now, but this is upcoming project. Yeah, I've got some stuff for you on that. But I'm talking about, are there any other projects that we've got for this year or that I may not have touched on? I back it up. All right, the infrastructure, never to get to it. Paving.
Yeah, right.
So I don't expect to see paving in that down there for a while because I've got almost $1 million paving coming up this next year. So, and that isn't the curve. So I don't see that necessarily.
Outside of the parks.
Oh, yeah, not in the parks outside. I don't see that necessarily happening. Because we're looking at some serious issues that we've got to deal with. 6th Avenue. Maybe we can do that. We got bid openings on that tomorrow. We'll see what that is. I've got it in next year's budget, but we'll have to see where it comes. We may be able to pull it out of this year's budget, but even that, that's only going to take about 1/10 of that out. Because we got Sharkow Road, which is a major issue we've got to deal with. West 2nd is an issue. West 10th is an issue. On Gilbertville Highway between the Y and Lumberyard, where it connects into 282. That section there is going to be dealt with, and then Plant Cutoff Road is going to be dealt with. I missed one, didn't I? No, that's it. 6th is the one we got the bids for Mark. So, but we have to deal with these. These are some that we've let go. You think, well, if something else will shut down, we've got to deal with. So, matter of fact, we've got 1 or 2. If we don't do something like this year or next year, we're going to lose them. So, and we put it off probably as long as we can. But I've tried. So paving and the infrastructure did not get done for this year. Matter of fact, no paving was done this year so far. If we do paving, if we do 6th Avenue over where we did the basin, then that'll be the first paving we've done this fiscal year. But I did put the infrastructure back in, and I'll show you that in the budget for this next year. Banners, I need to touch base again with you because I let Blair know. So we've got to, because we need to move forward and get those done. I want to make sure that what she's ordering is and I'll forward you the email because I'll let you see that and see if that's acceptable. I'm not moving forward till I hear that. I'll send it out to the 3. Matter of fact, I may be able to pull that up and just print that for you here quickly.
The vandalism in the park.
Police department have got suspects and confessions on a lot of it, but it continues to be juveniles. They just have too much time on their hands, I guess. Matter of fact, one of them's a repeat offender, was involved in the one we had last year before that. Where's Old Park? Is anything down there?
There's nothing we have. Have it right now.
Of course, the trail over here, we've got a little over 4 miles, just a hair over 4 miles. A bike trail, cross country bike trail, mountain. 25 acres. We've got the road. It goes down to there. It's the bike trail ramp in. There's actually 3 structures. There's something else we're addressing. We did get that area built up to the point where we could actually utilize it for something else. On the north side of it. Seeing that, we actually did. It came, a lot of it came built from Mason. We put it in over there and worked it out so that down the road, if something else comes up that we want to put in, we've got a place for it, port type, something like it. Parking, City Hall. This is City Hall, but it also has to do with parks because we created it not only as parking, or creating it not only as parking for City Hall and training, but in after hours utilizing it for parking, sports, and other events. So that's going in down here. Of course, we have purchased. The city has purchased this field over here. They don't have a goal just yet, consensus on a goal for what we're going to do with it as yet. All of it, or all of it. Yeah. We don't. Well, we don't own the building from the top. We got 7 acres back in the back.
The film,
That 7 acres, wherever it comes in up to this point, I'm not sure exactly where, but yeah. The city bought that. And, we're gonna actually take the parking lot back here, and as it tapers now, we're gonna go back and shoot it straight. Bring it over so that that parking lot is straight down instead of tapering it, so it'll give us a few more, but it'll also be aesthetically better looking. And it will be that much more in cost.
being paid.
What do you estimate that cost to be on that one? 80. That's the whole thing.
We've got to put it in.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing is we're having to build it to handles bigger programs for bigger equipment. So I guess that's it. The single bathrooms, I'm sorry, at this point, if we could save enough money, if we can do something, if we find out our money is gonna be more, go further than we think, and we maybe add something back in and do a single unisex bathroom, maybe tennis courts or back down here toward the mountain bike path. The mountain bike path is also pedestrian. You can actually go back there and hike that if you want to. It does, it's not necessarily. Okay, questions on current budgets?
That's amazing though, what our park budget is. Just don't, I mean, you know, you think it's just.
And that's not in your CLP. That's not in your. You had another 200,000 or so in CIP or park last year. It was like 150 for the bathroom, and then we had another 50 or so with the paving and the, well, I don't have it listed on here. Not the breakdown, but our CIP last year. Of course, it's not gonna show up on this. They just print out the report that give us that. Have you got your budget book? Would you mind? Thank you.
Last time was done.
But there were a few things on there that we didn't get to do. Those are, like I said, we need to get the design. And it's pretty much what we submitted to them. They just came back and did all the drawing and making sure that kind of. In our parks, we really pick up, you guys pick up in the 500 categories, but I want to give you some ideas of where we're standing. If you look at this, you've got audited numbers. You want to go down here. This does not include our big projects. This is just the smaller stuff. If you go down the page, just a quick one, page where it says 601 total for parks. Because I think if you flip over one, it's a third page. And if we have the first three columns are the audited years, previous audited years, three previous 1920, 2021, 21, 22, we put in 22, 23. So that budgeted, that was our expenditures, 447, 405, 406, and then 465. This year we had budgeted 556.3. We expect in column second from the right at the bottom, 513.2, what we expect to spend actually out of that whole. That in column in between is just our 9-month marker. And then on the far side is our budget, what we expect for the next upcoming year. Now, they include personnel costs, departmental expenses, and what I've already put into our 505, which is you go to the back of that page, you'll see what I've got in there. 505 is that's our field mix, ball fields, our ZTR mowers. We replaced one this year, the chair rack, or racks to replace what we need for those. And someone had said something about emergency call boxes, and I actually talked to Chief Shannon about that, and I asked him if he could look into it. And he did some research, and he said that the call boxes are actually campuses and are going away from the call boxes. Because today's technology is you've got a call box in your hand, there you go. But there are also apps that you can download that would be an automatic push button, automatic call, and it goes with you. You don't have to run to the center of the park to get the button. You got it here. We've got one call box right now. It's at the splash pad. And the only time it gets pushed is when the little kids come over and shut the fountain off. It's not getting used in all the time we've had it. I take that back. It's been used once. They usually use.
I don't think it's been used any.
I don't have any documentation that I know of. And that's again, that's wrong. I'm using my memory. I don't recall any option. Everybody uses their cell phone. It's right there. You know, it's right there. So not sure that the call box, and these are not cameras, they're call boxes, and the little carts that you see out in the different shopping centers and stuff like that, that's not owned by the police. That's actually not a call box. That's actually it's a camera. So what you've got there is a box. It's got its power and the poles, blue lines, and it's just a camera setup system. It's not a call box.
Yeah. So we're not gonna do the call boxes.
I don't.
I don't.
Part of my conversation with Chief Cannon, I don't know that was something that he felt like would be worth the money. You can get them in solar or hardwired. The solar are gonna be more expensive. But you're looking at almost $2,000 a piece or up, depending on what you get. And that might be money spent well somewhere else. Okay, so we'll change that down to 33, to 43. Now, 526, I've got lights. Lights here are actually additional lights for the Memorial Park, okay? That's probably 3 units. We replaced one, we're adding one, and we're putting one in as a backup. We lost ones to a storm, tree took it out. So, and then that would give us, it'd give us at least 2 more. I think they were 2,500 a piece now, something like that. But I'm allowing for additional issues like increase in metal prices. So that would give us 2 more of those Acorn LED lights like we've got in the park. We are putting one in Memorial Park, one of the ones that we ordered. It's a newer one, it's a double banner. 2 arms come out, got the eyelet at the bottom, and it'll be going over at the entrance, somewhere around the entrance of the east side, on the soccer field side. Okay. And then as our infrastructure gets expanded, we can add some more lights around the outside. Banners, this is, if we get these banners this year, then, you know, that money could be utilized wherever else we need it. If we don't manage to get them in this year's budget, I make sure it's in next year's budget. Patio umbrellas, that was a big deal. They just want patio umbrellas. Well, Blair's got 5 that we can use starting Memorial Day weekend. Which, by the way, is when we're going to open up the splash pads Memorial Day weekend. But I can get some really good resort style patio umbrellas. You got like a 100-pound base. It's on rollers, big heavy duty umbrella with aluminum and a friction fit so that it's supposed to hold. If it's down, if it's up, it'll fly away just like any of them would. You don't, umbrellas, I'm sorry, do not, they do very well in the wind, but they do real well flying, you know. So that right there would be a missile with a 100-pound weight attached to it. But, and that might be drug across rather than going airborne. The whole point is we can give this a shot. It's going to cost us about 400 a piece, a little over. I put 2,600 in there to cover shipping as well. So that would be 6 umbrellas, 1 for each bench. And we'll see how it works out. We're probably gonna make it a blue.
Just a solid blue.
That way they're not as, they don't stand out so much.
Right.
And it probably won't be the electric blue, it'll be more the navy blue, the city's navy blue.
Yeah. I think that's what color Blair's are. The ones for the others, for the.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I'm afraid those are gonna be gone before we get these others in. But if you guys are good with that, I may go ahead and proceed on because I can pull that money. I've got that money I can use for that purpose. Okay with me going ahead and these heavier duty ones? Because those are actually, people bought those. Those are all memorial benches. They've paid for them. They've got a deal on there. I don't really want to modify them.
That's something else that we're going to also and talk to John about I'm sure it's the chemicals we treat the water with. Those benches are starting to corrode really bad. And we're gonna have to probably come sand. May end up having to take them off. I don't think.
Well, what's gonna happen, we've already got those committed basically because we've done
Yeah.
that. And I'm gonna keep those there, but I've got one that has not got somebody in it that I will not use as a memorial bench simply for that purpose. Because I can't ensure that the maintenance on them. But we'll just continue to put benches or table, actually we'll get to the point with tables and what we need. Until we can expand more because we're really running out of places for benches. And we probably need to have a meeting where we all can leave here, adjourn, go down to the park, do a walk through, and then come back, maybe in the fall or something. Because really what I need is you to look at that and agree on where we're going to put some more benches. Or what? What do you want, where? We're looking into shades, that we've got another year, I think, out of these shades. So I started off to do that, but right now we're here to snag. The company that we got the structures and the shades from is no longer in business apparently. So we're trying to find someone who can reproduce or fit a new shade to these structures down here. I don't think we'll need to get into the point. I'm afraid that doesn't happen. That we have to go in and replace the whole thing. Again, that's a problem we're all running into. Anytime we put shades out, you only run and of course we bought those in 2009. That's how long they've been there, 15 years going on. And the shade structure will be on 15, but business has gone out because of COVID or whatever. Okay, maybe it's something else, we don't know, but it's no longer in business. So now you've got something that now you have to manufacture by somebody who wasn't there to begin with. That doesn't mean that we can't take those in the off season to somebody that does. Well, if we can even get that material, but see if we can get somebody to do that remake. But that's not something that's an absolute emergency at this point. Fencing, the fencing we're talking about here. Down here on Doctor's Park, the parking area along the west side, which is next to the pavilion, and then up the side beside field 3. People have a tendency to drive around the gate when we close it and drive off the grass and just keep going. So what we're looking at is putting in a 2-plank black style horse fence looking thing. And it would go all along the west side and all along that north side on the other side of the gates and just go all the way across. I don't know that there's any reason to there might be a reason for pavilion to leave an opening for people to walk through. And it might be so that on the other side, I don't know if that's necessary or not.
Well, I don't see anybody driving
To do.
from this side, where the sidewalk is, the sidewalk is. You can see where they're at. I don't know if it's necessary on this side,
Which side?
where you've got a
How
sidewalk
about the west side?
and the pavilion. It's my
Because they're even
thoughts.
driving around those rocks, those big boulders, right?
Yeah, you're driving through here. See, I'm kind of see the tracks.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm kind of like the point of that is that, putting in one fence
For the
versus
aesthetics.
if you put in 2, you got the aesthetics. Because just one across there, I won't give them the opportunity to think about going around that way.
Mhm.
Next thing you see is, okay, well, now we're gonna cut off around the pine trees and come down. That's when I want to see somebody's ticket. If it gets to that, we'll put another boulder up on the other end.
Would we look better with a fence or would we look better with a sign that says?
Signs don't work. Signs only work for people that
Not go down there and start getting tickets.
can't count on that either. People riding.
Up there. For that, now they just drive further. Same thing, the price, what he's talking about there is down there on the money maker also. Is put a fence down the edge of that to keep people from driving through his property. And they've already moved my rocks down there on that end of the trail, and they can see it, so they can get a vehicle. We've had to squish them back together.
I'm telling you, yeah, signs only work for people who will listen to them.
Rule followers like me, and there's not many of me out there.
That's great. We says don't go that way. Well, I'm gonna turn around and not go that way. But there's a lot of folks that say, that's not for me. I can go ahead. That's for somebody else.
Wait, what's back there? I need to be back there in my car.
So, you know, signs, I found that signs are great at just making a notice, but they do no good.
Because the ones that need to get down there, the people that, they have a key to unlock the gate and close it back, right? The ones that are doing the concession stand or whatever.
Second one.
No, it's not even. But you'd be surprised, you know, all kinds of people go around that thing. They wanna go down there, they wanna go down there and pitch their, to Jimmy or Janie, they're gonna go around instead of parking up there and walking, they're gonna go around and just do it. I'm sorry, it's just what they do. And it's not uncommon to see them jump on the walking trail and drive around the walking trail. To the gate, and then back from the gate all the way back to the other side. Now, I would think that you would want to put, like I said, a gap for people to walk through. But I don't encourage it on that north side because of that slope. Now, on the other side, they do it anyway, so you just leave a gap there.
Well, you know. A disc golf and one.
They can still go around, they can come up. I think we need another stone there. They can walk around with some between the gate and the fence and the stone or whatever, but the cars can't drive. The rain, so they're going to cut off to the end themselves. So I've seen that happen. But I mean, that's 1,100 feet. That's a lot of fence, especially the bottom. And that's actually, we look at that as being probably installed. I think the cost was like 23,000 for materials, and we put another 13,000 on there for installation. They look really good on these. Two-plank fence is really not. We looked at the three-plank. When I saw the two-plank, I'm like, oh, this is probably all we need. We don't need something that is going to be a barrier for people. It needs to be a barrier for cars. And here you got to break something. You know, if you go here and break something, hopefully, God, the cameras will work. Is there anything else? Well, let me flip over to the next page where it talks out. You come down to 526 land improvements, you'll see the Memorial Park infrastructure, the 36,000 is in there. And then you come over to buildings in 530. 250,000 for bathroom. We'll have 50,000 in there for wayfinding. And that's basically what I've got for parks at this time. But we're looking at some major expenses. If you look, you Sharkow Road, we're looking at somewhere around 400,000, and then 5 was 600,000 for annual paving, and that did not include plant runoff. But that would, like I said, that would keep us up to close to $1 million.
I see Civic Center sign.
Civic Center sign, yes, you did. I'm sorry, I didn't get you back up a page. You see Civic Center sign. What we're wanting to do here is budget, we're proposing a double-sided LED display on a monument out here in front of City Hall. It would be maintained by City Hall staff. Okay. That way Blair didn't have to deal with it. If we put it up there, she has to deal with it. We can't at our distance. She had to deal with that. I don't think that's what we want to pay her for. But I do want us to have a very nice sign on the front of that building to match the looks of that building aesthetically. And then whatever money's left over, we want to look at maybe going inside and putting in a big screen like this. And then she can put up messages like welcome, you know, Chamber of Commerce, you know, banquet, whatever, something like that. But on here on this one, you have upcoming events, upcoming meetings, special events. Splash pad opens to the public
Yeah.
for use in Memorial Day, weekend, or whatever, stuff like that. And that would be on our budget, not yours. That's the sign here. We're looking at. So I've got an estimate, just a rough estimate right now of about 15,000. I'm actually meeting with somebody next week about that. But I'm putting 5,000 in there so that we can make sure we get a good sign and a professional quality sign, not just something final lettered onto it. I want this to be something that matches the design style of the building. So that said, is there anything that you guys want to consider? Trying to cover what we didn't do last year and some of the stuff that we needed to move forward with, and some of the maintenance that we need to move forward with.
And the total of all this that we have so far is what? Where do you see that number?
I don't have that. Well, I do too. Let me back up. I have everything except for there's 286,000. What this number over here is for our park budget right now at 567.10. The other is 286,000. And that's the building and the
Okay.
infrastructure.
Where is that number? I don't see it.
Which one?
286,000.
Well, you go to the last page
Oh,
and Memorial Park infrastructure is 36,000 and the Pet Park bathroom is 250, so that's 286.
Probably after this year's budget, it's something that I brought up years ago. And so,
like that horseman thing he's talking about? Yeah, that would be nice, because we have it at the,
You got it in there.
yeah, just to tie it together. And yeah.
Which park you talking about?
Oh,
Whole park?
We probably ought to fence the ball field, put lights up down there first.
we'll certainly get some usage down there.
But that's what I'm saying. That's the reason I say that, because I'm starting to get, but I still am holding off. I said, I won't sign a lease with TCBSA. I mean, they can use it on, some of them I said, you can use it on first come, first served basis. I said that you got these 4 fields here reserved for your people. So that's reserved on first come, first served basis, because others during your season may want a field to use, and that's what it's for. I'm not trying to be ugly, but I'm trying to be more inclusive, and before that field was fixed, nobody wanted to use it. Now they're wanting to use it.
Right.
So we're having to address it just like we did the other one. The only thing is we just have fencing around it, more electricity for lights. Of course, for summertime, I don't know for practices and stuff like that, you really don't need lights. But the fencing would come in handy.
Only if you really have these.
So they're gonna be played down there.
And every time I go by, there's somebody in that new pavilion in Old Park, always. I love it. I love seeing somebody.
I
do
know.
that down there.
It's just a-
Wait. Let me go back and touch base on do with that. I don't reserve it unless you are a resident, business owner of this community. I don't reserve it. It's on first come, first served. I will reserve it for residents and business or people who own businesses here or people who live here. They can reserve it. People from outside the city cannot reserve it. They can use it on first come, served.
How much pavilion?
Because it costs anything. But, my thing of it is the people here who pay the taxes and help buy that are the ones that get the first use of it.
Yeah.
And so that's the way we handle any and all pavilions. They're welcome to use it, but if it's up somebody that's a resident has got it reserved, then they go to one of the other pavilions.
My only issue with fencing is you would have to maximize. Because I'm afraid.
What field, the infield is set up for high school softball.
I'm talking about the outside.
Yeah, I know. So the fencing on that would be
So
at
as long as you
least, what, 210? I think right field was 210, and I think left field was 210 on high school. I don't know what the apex is.
Small.
That's high school
For
softball.
adult softballs, you know, for me, you and Brad to go out there and play softball, it's way too small. That's a pop-up.
I don't know how much more you got.
Left field, you got 300 feet left field. Right field,
Well,
if we would think that way.
I set up the most optimum field I could find for the area we had, and that was the high school softball. With girls softball, so
I was thinking of paying the ticket.
210 is pretty good distance.
For the softball.
Okay.
It's not.
I think we need to pick a guy down on E4. Kenny Ford. Oh, I mean, if you're gonna knock it out one side, knock it out the other side, I mean, I don't know, does it matter?
Yeah, I mean, or it could be at least competitive.
Are you saying this is symmetry?
Yeah, to me it does, but that's just the point.
Yeah.
Well,
I've seen too many oblong fields and I look at two of them down here and you just have to go. But you got, you got
You're gonna hit the left field anyway.
250 on one side and 210 on the other, or whatever.
And put the fence right up against the road.
The field was 276 before, would it turn the other way.
Yeah.
276, which one?
Pretty much all the way
Apex?
around. Pretty much all the way around, it's 276 before, when we used to play something. And if you go back to that corner, there was probably 50 feet between the fence, the backstop, and the fencing where those fields are on both sides, at least 50 feet. So there's a lot of room there on the left field side. As you'll remember, there was a tennis courts.
Yeah.
And it's moved a little,
But and what used to be field out there now is part of our parking, which we didn't have before.
Yeah,
So
part of that parking is a tennis courts.
You know, I never saw the tennis courts there. It was grass when I got here. Or field. It was-
Like in our day.
I'm not gonna go there, okay? I was just thinking about some other things last night. And I look back 40 years and I'm going,
We can probably look under that.
well, I mean, too, I've got pictures of it the other way, 2005.
Yeah.
Take a look at, we just look at it, see what we're gonna do.
Has fencing come down a little bit, or is it still kind of expensive going up?
Yeah, we're not with the automated vending.
Move the drives.
Yeah.
You have to move the drive, but they're driving right there where it gets you at it too. Get real good. We can try on that side of the road. Did we?
That's fine.
How does he? Yes, I know. He's want to chase a white ball and kill trees. I decided, I'll just do parks, and that just don't seem to go together. But it could be different. We'll take a look at it, see what kind of distances we got and what we can make, see if it's working, okay? All right. So let's see how much we can add to the length. Yeah, let's see how much area we can add lengthwise by removal of trees, taking it out. Basically taking it out. I would think.
Just put in solar panels.
60 foot in feet over baseline. 60.
That's what that's saying.
Can't remember which one it is.
Yeah, on the road.
This is where I stand, and where all, this is all I've got right now. Didn't know what else you guys might consider. Or if you needed to consider anything else. we should-
Well, the only other thing, I think I brought this up a couple of times, but those heaters that Blair wants for like this Christmas stuff in the park, you know, those tall, I guess propane heaters, I don't know what they are.
That's something she probably has to put in her budget.
Well, now that we own that field, we would consider any trees as
Or- and I'll tell you one, because I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I mean, there's thoughts that they might go in there and put residential housing in. So, this, if you go back and look at the WashU study, it was designed that we need to focus on empty nesters. You're talking about zero lot lines, you're talking about, who would not want to walk out of their front and be able to go right to the park
The grocery store.
or a golf cart to, or a bicycle from their house anywhere in town, anywhere they needed to go. I mean, it's a great location. I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but I sure as the devil don't think it needs to be a field. It costs we pay for it.
No, I was
Right.
thinking more of maybe some small.
But they just,
trees lining the drive.
at this point, anything that you do to it without a plan is gonna be wasted. It's like, well, I'll tell you what we're doing with a walking trail in here. We're stopping the walking trail short of connecting to 62, because if we build it, guess what's gonna happen? And I talked to the state, they're gonna tear it out when they go in there and put that intersection in, and then they're gonna rebuild it back. So we got a kind of an agreement that what they're gonna do is when they put that intersection in, then they'll make the final connection to our walking trail. We'll take it right down to that last property and stop. And then when they go in there, then we'll go from there. So anything that we do out here without a vision and without a plan, strategic plan for it, is a waste of money.
I know it's not a park issue, but the walking trail, when we're gonna start part of the construction.
I'll pass that on to the state, so they'll let them tell me, because that's where I stand. We've only got all of the right of ways. And this is a fund instead of a grant, and so everything we do has to be approved before we do it. Or either we just bought that portion of it. So we've got all of our right of ways, all the easements and stuff like that, we've got all that purchased, all that's still in. So now it should be, hopefully they'll get off their ducks and get us moving so we can get to start construction. That's kind of what we're waiting on. We can't move out of this phase until they've gone their thing, they stamped okay and say, okay, now you can spend money on construction. So it's like,
Yeah, it's.
it really is. This has been like hurting snails.
Yeah.
COVID was not good for us to begin with, but having one person at the state level that approves all these TAP funds across the state and all the different levels was not a really well thought out idea either. So, and that's part of it. And then of course, when that individual gets something back that they can't approve, they have to forward it off to somebody else and state government somewhere else have to wait for that. That's the situation. I pray that I never apply for another TAP grant in my city administrator.
We finally received.
I was an engineering company 2 years ago.
3 years ago.
We were just handing in a claim call.
You need to send me the receipts right now. I mean, the invoices and everything for reimbursement. I didn't even know we had that money. We've been waiting all this time and you're telling me now I can do something.
So they tell you now that you get it done yesterday.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's not been, COVID hasn't helped. I will say that a lot of it's probably been COVID issues, but this has been such a,
And then even that person that called me, after I sent it, I never heard anything, and then come to find out she moved or left, and there's another person.
that's what happened. That's what happened with FEMA. They'll send you, they'll say, we want these, this. So you send them that, and then somebody else comes in there, instead of finding what you already asked for, they go, I need this, so you send the same thing again. It's semi nightmarish. It's like Groundhog Day.
Has the Department of Transportation followed up anymore on the roundabout 62 and all that?
They haven't given us any word on what they're gonna do. I know they went back and tweaked something, but I don't. Okay. That's all I've got at the moment. We got any other maintenance issues that we need to address? Garbage cans. That's something we need to do, is put some money in. We may take that 10,000 we were looking at for
The boxes.
and see about using that to purchase some more of those, the nicer garbage cans at entrance locations. Because I've heard some point that we didn't have enough garbage cans.
And then also, one of the council members brought up about the Calvin Elementary playground. Do we handle that or not? About the waste bags or, I know you deal with it all the time, but.
No, that's not the point. It's just, that, I'm going like, we help put this in. It was supposed to be them to take care of it. And so, where we're going with that this year. I do know that I'm looking into some things and see where we're going. We've had that agreement since when?
They'll put the playground in.
Okay. So it's been there 13, 14 years. So maybe one of those, I don't know. We just have to see.
The maintenance issues that I can think of, well, except for what I can pop up. Still on my agenda, we're gonna have to repay them on the ball. Old park needs some paving down there. In just station. Really,
I'll need some numbers on that.
Yeah.
Well, I know that down there, that's gonna be a tear out. That's gonna be. Oh, okay. All right. Because that right there will require complete replacement. You'll have to tear all that out and start again because you'll have to build it from drainage.
Yeah, the building is placed in there too low elevation, so we pave now the waterfront in the building.
Right. So you're going to tear it.
So we've done there. Which is not cheap. It was, I had an estimate of 140,000. So.
Our parks sure are nice though.
They are that. All that. No doubt. We can get that bathroom in there. And then get the fencing in. That'll look nice.
And this huge pickleball tournament.
Yeah, that's coming out next month.
Crazy.
Anybody using it? Anybody playing? Are you? Hey, you like it?
Not the tournament stuff.
Oh, I thought, you're doing it in the tournament? Wow.
You like it? I enjoyed it a whole lot more than I thought I would. And I got a set, but haven't been down there yet, so I need to do that. I thought about, because it stays busy all the time, just thinking down the tennis courts and using it. Are you playing?
No, I haven't.
What are you waiting for?
Knocking it out of the park.
Knock it out of the park, that's right.
Every day. It was something all four of us because, some of us were not.
Well, but you get some really, really competitive people and get some really moving, but know, you get some folks out there that are just getting started, something like that, you can have a nice volley fairly easy, you know. And that's
You
You
what I
don't
like
have to have a
about it.
tusk.
That's right.
And of course, you can develop the skill, but yeah.
Yeah,
you-
well, I
you-
know.
but I think it's start- yeah, when you get started, I mean, it's a lot of fun even just getting started. Boy, I was up there playing in a tie and shoes like these. Probably twist something. It's been par for the course for me.
Pickleball game with McEnroe and LSD. Was it? It was actually-
But that was
yeah.
neat.
I bet.
But it's just funny that they, like,
Yeah.
well, we played pickleball and then we tried to switch back to tennis.
Right.
Oh, I bet that's
Do
weird.
that.
I bet.
Cause then
I
you're
bet
like,
this ball was cream, man.
I need to do a 24-hour period. I'm all this stuff.
Ball's cream as it went across the net.
Oh,
Oh.
And he's talking about those tennis pros. I'm like, I can see that thing.
Yeah.
And it change it out, it melted down.
Personal comparison to how y'all are taking care of yourselves. As I've gone to these other places. No, I'm just saying the ideas and yes, she takes care of them, but I'm just saying, I love all the ideas. and how it works. Feel like when I'm in Calvert, I'm in Joshua.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet.
When I go these other places.
Well, I said when I got on here, the main thing was, you know,
Yeah,
you can
right.
allocate stuff all you want, but if you cannot, you have to.
That's correct.
to maintenance.
That's what we ran into at tournaments. And it's like, see them all. See them all. Would not roll.
Oh, my. Yes.
I keep telling these guys how much
I would like,
parks are.
I would like at some point, the fields are pretty much getting locked into their positions. Right now. I would like at some point. Make those fields. Use a level, cut it, make sure it's good smooth, make sure it's crowned and it's got the slope on it. I would like for those to be done and done well.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Yeah, that's, well, fortunately for us, that, you know, we're gonna have to shift it. Or else we're still playing on somebody else.
Hey, that's not ours.
Huh?
That's not, that
It is
that
now.
field is now.
Yeah, it is now, but part of it is a little bit of it on that east side, it's on somebody else's property. We thought it was gonna be all on there, but we're gonna have to shift it over toward the walking trail. I think we can get it on there, we just have to shift it over.
Really close.
It's, we may have to go with a little bit of it, but I want it all on our property. So, that's something I would like to see eventually is spend the money on the slope of the layout of the soccer fields like we did softball, baseball fields. But one of the reasons we haven't is because were used to bouncing around. So we're not doing that. Lock the fields in and we need to get to.
Okay, so when is the budget workshop?
Wednesday, May 31st. So it'll be the Wednesday after Memorial Day.
It'll be,
So,
I started to say, I thought you said you were traveling. I can
Great.
read it.
Are you coming? Kenny?
let me look.
As long as I've got somebody,
We
it doesn't-
moved our camping, but let me look.
as long as I've got somebody here to speak for the parks, it's fine. I don't have to have, you know, everybody or whatever. And if you want to sit through it, that's fine. But it always helps to have somebody. Terrible. Work? Really? Oh, I thought you were down there playing. Huh? Work. You gonna have any time to play while you're down there?
What time?
5 o'clock. if you are coming, please let me know. I just need to make sure I don't have a quorum show up without notice. You know, that's the thing I am worried about. That and ordering food. We order food for people that come. That's just, if you can let me know something. Well, if you can let me know by end of close of business Friday, the week before. So that will let me know how many meals we need to order. And then, that is correct, next Friday. You let me know by next Friday. That way we'll know how many meals to order and all that.
And about the banners, were you gonna print something or just show it to us when we get out of here?
Well, I guess I have to show you. Hey, you remember the navy blue and white banners you showed us?
Mhm.
Basically, it's the same banners, but it's a solid using the city's logo colors. Oh, you got it right there. That's it.
That's what she sent me last.
That's it right there. I follow you. You got it.
Oh, my goodness. I
So
love
see,
it.
this will be on the front new one that he's talking about as the welcome.
That's cool.
I thought that's cool.
All the- Oh, yeah, no, we were talking about, I'm thinking. the-
$2,500 worth. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but we'll get the full amount. So,
Good job.
well, as long as you like it, that's what I need to know. So we'll
Yep.
move forward.
The brand that most people call.
She's gonna get the quotes. Gotcha.
So we'll have our budget workshop before our June meeting. That's right. So we won't meet again.
Yeah, we won't meet again before their budget. That's one of the reasons I was asking if you had anything else.
Before the meeting, can you email me, like, just the updated things about the parks, our budget, what we're proposing, you know, because we changed some of these things.
Yeah, the only thing really we changed is taking out the, what we're looking at putting in, what was it? We said the 10,000 for.
Taking out.
The call volume.
Hey, you putting in the Tiffany. Replacing that to, so actually leave that at 43, but replace the call box and just say, garbage for, waste receptacles. So that way we got, and this will be the do more, nice ones like we're using for that. So,
And you also thought you would take out.
we'll leave that money in there. Just in case we don't get it, for whatever reason, it doesn't come in.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, I mean, that's money we could use for some other project, little small project. If it's one of those that shocks us, and comes up of nowhere, like another lift station.
Yeah.
So, but I'm gonna keep those three in there. And,
Bathrooms is the big thing. I'm sure that's needed.
whereas we-
We want to go blue, right? Or just blue.
No. We'll take away the water. Be up there all summer. I mean, it was never, well, I can't say that. The vision I had, what they were gonna do, had never had anything out there. Fountain and some chairs, something like that, because it was a quote fountain that we use as a splash pad, not a kiddie splash pad. You know, it was just straight kids get it because it was keeping me used after. If it's just a splash pad, then we shut it down at Labor Day. If we don't do that, we use it as a centerpiece for the rest of the year. Most, we've used it all the way up to Christmas.
And our intention is not for families to come sit up all day long down there at the splash pad. I mean, I guess they can, but I feel like, if we make it more comfortable, I know that sounds terrible, but like you said, it was the fountain to begin with. That's how we got
It
it.
was a fountain, that's how we got it. The fountain was a centerpiece, but the splash pad was just an add-on to that. It was not originally it. Well, we tried to kill two birds with one stone, and that's Memorial Park. If we were gonna put in a splash pad, it was gonna be like just a kiddie pad.
Yeah.
We could have put that in over here,
Mhm.
and that's where we would have put it. We're trying to keep it as part of Memorial Park. People invest in that because it is an upscale setting.
I just don't think.
Carnival-ish?
No.
No, okay.
So it doesn't, you don't notice it.
Well,
Is that what you were doing?
that's what I was saying, is it's there, it gives them that, but it's not really something that is, it kind of blends back or background. Or either that or either a dark green or something that would actually just kind of blend in the grass background. So, I mean, it's just something that kind of blends in rather than something instead of contrasting, it complements, you know what I'm saying? Use that word, how about that? I've been around. Sorry, listen, I've been around, my wife watches too much decorating and.
Oh, really?
That is a good, what am I saying? That's how women got pink in the house. They called it mauve. Oh, yeah. Okay, or it's dusty road. a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's not pink. It's all right. Yeah. Oh, I see. You did it to me. Okay, well.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
I-